up, guys? Good morning. I'm out here a little late again. It's the Vault 500, y'all. Day 25. Happy we made it to day 25. You know what I'm saying? We up. It's day 25 and it's Monday, so it's Mindset Monday, and we're just gonna get into what we need to do to get focused for the week and get some stuff accomplished. You know what I mean? And this is what I do to get ready for the week. I'm out here. I'm working out, doing my warm up, and then do my little bit run. So this is what we doing right now, man. Do what matters. You know what I mean? Like do the hard things first. That's what I always tell people. That's what I tell my students. Do the hard things first. When you're getting ready for the week, whatever's more difficult, if you got to study, take care of those things first. Think about those moves that are going to set you and make and put you in position. What are the things that are difficult that can put you in position? That's what you're going to focus on. You're going to get those things done first. That always helps. But thank you guys. Welcome to the Vault 500, day 25. I appreciate everybody that taps in, that shows love. We're here for a while. So one of the things that I do that helps give me clarity for the week is I journal. And you can journal in different ways. You can journal with like voice notes. I do that. You could journal on paper. Some people like to write. Some people like to make it physical. And that's okay too. But me personally, I like to use voice notes as my journal. I don't know why, I just like it. So you just go with what you like. Some people like to write, and that's okay. When you're setting your goals, you got to think long term. Because when I set my goals, when I decided to go back to school for business, my goal was to get a job running a company. This was a long time ago. So I said, maybe one day I'm going to have the skills to be able to run my own company. And that's the reason why I went back to school for business initially. And I ended up having not a lot of different jobs. I was a personal trainer. I was a business manager. And those were the jobs that I had for like a total of like 15 years, probably somewhere around there. And then I finally decided to get into education, and I went back and got a couple of master's degrees in education and technology. And then, but you got to think long term when you're setting your goals. Think long term. You got to think about what you're going to be doing 10, 15 years from now. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. And I ended up having a great teaching career and also starting some businesses and being a consultant. So sometimes you don't really know where you're going to end up. But if you play the long game and you set long like 15-year goals, 10-year goals, then you're going to end up in a good place because you're thinking about your future. You know what I'm saying? So, what's up, guys? Good morning. The Vault 500. Day 25. Appreciate you guys. I'm out here working out, talking to you guys. I appreciate the love. You know, I got another feature this morning. Um, this is Pinky. She started a company called Slutty Vegan. It's a vegetarian restaurant, like burgers and fries and stuff like that. I haven't had it yet, so I'm not even going to play like I've had the food. I haven't tried it, but she has an amazing story that I wanted to talk about today. So the reason why I chose her to be featured, she started out with a food truck and she built it into a multi-million dollar business, which a lot of people do, right? So this is a lesson on scaling a business from a very small business to a large scale business, $100 million business, right? She used social media. She used smart marketing to turn her food truck into a multi-million dollar business. Yeah. It's an interesting story. There's a very interesting story behind it. A lot of things happened to her in her career early on. She lost one of her restaurants. She got into a serious car accident, and then she started working hard, and her restaurant blew up. And then she ended up losing her restaurant because of they were spending more money than they had coming in. And a lot of times when we hire people to run our business, you still have to watch those people.
So over there, you get more animals, so it's nice, you know. And one time I had a big scare because I'm sitting real close to throwing the pictures.
So when you get someone to run your business, you can't just leave it up to other people. Even when you get to a point where you scaled and you don't have to be on your business every day, you can kind of chill out. You still need people you can trust to run your business, because she wasn't watching things as closely as she should have been, is from what she said. When so things got out of hand and they were spending too much money. They were spending more than they had coming in, right? So this article talks about, and People Magazine talks about how she lost her business. And then she ended up buying her business back, I think, after she lost it. And then she started rebuilding. And what's really dope, what's really cool about her story is she didn't give up. Sometimes people go through a little thing in their life and they ready to just pack it up, you know. And I know people like that try to build certain things, and as soon as they got one little thing that goes wrong, they ready to pack it up and quit. I've been building businesses for 20 years, and I've been helping other people build businesses. I started building websites, and people would come to me and say, hey, you know, businesses and churches and stuff like that will come to me and say, hey, I need this website, la la la, help me build it. And then they would say, hey, how do I get people to come to my website? Doesn't make sense to having a website if I don't have traffic. That's how I learned marketing. So it says here she got involved where a mattress, she was driving 70 miles an hour on a highway. And what does it say? A mattress? A mattress went through her windshield? That's crazy. Big accident right there. For you to be driving 70 miles an hour and a mattress that probably fell off of somebody's car, the top of their car. That's why they say you shouldn't tie mattresses on the top of your car. Probably flew off the car and then went through her windshield. That's a crazy freak accident. And then that was after she had lost her first restaurant. So she went through a lot, man. She went through a lot. And it says here, she had, the company was doing a lot of exorbitant spending. And that happens too. When you don't really watch the people that are running your business and certain things happen where if you're not watching them, they might spend too much money. If they're not properly tracking what's coming in, and then you're spending, and then one day you look at the books and you realize we don't have enough money to pay for these things. That's what happened to them. That's what happened. That's how she lost her restaurant again. But the really cool part of what happened with Pinky, she lost her business multiple times. She has like some really bad experiences. But it's part of the learning process when you're starting a business. Especially if you're someone that don't have experience running a multi-million-dollar business. You're gonna make mistakes as a person. You know what I mean? It's better to learn hands-on, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's better to learn that way. Because if you're not the type of person that gives up, bigger things can happen for you because now you made the mistakes, you lost money, and your comeback can be even better because now you're more knowledgeable. Now you have real world failure experience. You know what you did wrong. You didn't watch you didn't watch the people that you hired to run your business. You didn't watch them well enough. So if you come back, she got her business back. She bought it back. And now she knows that she has to watch the people that she hires, the people that run her business. She's to a point where she doesn't have to be so hands-on anymore. But at the same time, you got to watch the people that are running your business because a lot of times the people that you hire to run your business, they're not going to be as passionate about your business as you are. You know what I mean? Like, if you own an agency that specializes in working with football players and you're super passionate about football and you hire someone that's talented, but they just don't care about football as much as you do, you're going to do a better job than them because you're passionate about it. They're looking at it like it's just another job because they're not passionate about what they're doing. The same thing as teaching. If you're a teacher, You have so many, the reason why we have a problem with education in the country is because you have so many teachers that just come in and punch the clock, and they don't really care about the students. You know, they don't really care about the students, and that's the reason why there's such a big problem with education right now. So I'm not. So my point is, she's very passionate about vegan food, and if you hire someone that's not as passionate about vegan food, they're not gonna do as well as a job running your company as you. So, but she is a perfect example of what the Vault 500 is all about: scaling your business, failing along the way, learning from your failures, because she lost her business multiple times. She might even lose it again, you don't know. But the thing is, she's trying and she's learning. She's making mistakes and she's learning, and that's going to make her even more powerful if she doesn't give up. If she doesn't give up, she's going to be a force in business, because she can look back and say, look at what I did wrong. Look at the things that I did wrong. All right, now I'm going to be even smarter. I'm going to be stronger because I have the knowledge base now. I know what not to do. Now, just because she might make more mistakes. She might come back and get her restaurant back and then make mistakes in a different area and then lose the business again. But that doesn't matter, because things like that are going to happen when you're a business owner. You're gonna win, you're gonna fail. It happens if you look at Amazon, I remember when Amazon was just a bookstore back in 2005. It was a bookstore and they didn't make any money for 7 years. Amazon didn't make any profit for 7 years until they started figuring out. They created these affiliate programs. They're like the innovators of affiliate programs. And once Amazon created their affiliate programs, a lot of people followed suit. A lot of people started copying their business model. But that's okay. But she's a perfect example of someone that doesn't give up. And that's the type of people you want on your team as a business. You want people that don't give up. So there's like a number of things that you can learn from her as a business owner, as a person. Don't give up, man. Even when you get to a point where you're successful and you have millions of dollars, you can still lose everything. You got to always watch your books. You got to pay your taxes. You still got to stay on top of things, because unless you're, you got to stay on top of things. You got to stay on top of your books at any point in time, no matter how big you get, no matter how much money you make. She's a perfect example of what I talk about on the Vault 500 when it comes to scaling your business. Again, she started from a food truck. She lost her business. She started with a food truck. She built it into a restaurant. She lost her restaurant. Came back and said, hey, I got a new plan. built another restaurant, built it into a multi-million-dollar business in vegan food. Then she lost it again. Came back, bought her business back. Now she's running it again. And this was recently when she lost her business. She lost it in 2024. I was only just, a couple of months ago? So she's her business back, and I like her because, excuse me, I like her because she's very positive about her mistakes. And she says, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I got to do different. And we can learn from that, man. You know, the first thing we can learn is don't give up. The second thing we can learn from her is no matter how big you get, you got to watch over your books. You got to watch how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. Yeah, you got to go down, and then once you follow the path all the way down, you'll get to it. Yeah. Uh-huh. So the first thing we can learn from her is watch over your books, watch what's coming in and watch what's coming out. The second thing we can learn is you got to be passionate about what you're doing, whatever it is. She loves vegan food, so she didn't give up. If she was into vegan food just to make money, she wouldn't have been so passionate, and after failing so many times, and she wouldn't have given, she would have just given up if she didn't just love what she was doing. She loves what she's doing. She loves vegan food. That's part of her success, right? She failed a couple of times. She lost her business. She got it back. That has to do with passion, man. Like, I tell people all the time, whatever it is you're trying to do, you got to like it and love it. Otherwise, you're not going to stick with it. So, persistence, man, that's another thing we can learn. She's persistent. If you lost your business, got into a car accident, a freak accident, mattress went through your car window, you almost died, would you have the inspiration and motivation to come back and build your restaurant back? A lot of people would have thrown in the towel, you know? A lot of people would have given up, thrown in the towel and said, hey, it's a wrap for me. But she didn't. You know, there's a couple of influencers out there. that are really interesting. I'm probably gonna do feature them because I like what they do. But recently I saw a video where a guy was talking about another influencer saying that he was a liar, and he pointed out a couple of things that he said that he lied about online. And that's a problem when you get a lot of people online. That's why I try to be as transparent as possible. And I try to get on here and tell the truth, because people, once you become big, and people are going to do research on you, and they're going to say, well, this person isn't who they said they were, or whatever. So that's what happened with this influencer. And I like the fact that he wants people to tell the truth, especially when you get to a point where your platform is reaching millions of people. You have like 2 million followers, some platforms, and they're telling lies. And they're telling lies to get money from people. And that's a scam, right? So my point is, man, just be real. Just be real with people, and everything will work out better for you. Tell the truth and be real. So thank you guys. It's the Vol 500. I'm about to end the stream, and I was talking. It's Mindset Monday. Talking about just having the right mindset to continue doing what you're doing after you failed a couple of times. Failure is not a failure. Failure is a lesson. And if you're gonna take anything away from today, from the Vol 500 Monday mindset, failure is a lesson. You're gonna have to fail in order to learn. School is not enough. School is gonna give you a foundation. School is gonna get you in the door. But experience is gonna keep you in there. Experience and success is gonna keep you in the door. Education is only an entry level. That's why they call it entry level. That's why when you graduate college, you get an entry level job. That's because college only gets you in the door. Experience, failure, running a team of 10 people and your boss telling you you suck. That's gonna make you go back to the drawing board and work harder. So if you get anything from today, take that away. Let that be a takeaway. failure is a lesson because this young lady right here failed multiple times and she ended up getting her business back and making a comeback. You know what I mean? She made a comeback. And that's what the Monday mindset, that's what we're talking about here. Not giving up, being consistent, doing the work every single day, journaling, keeping track of what you're doing, keeping track of the analytics, man. That's what we do. So what's up, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm about to sign off. This is the Vault 500 day. The sun is in, I'm outside, so I don't know, the sun. All right. So thank you guys for checking into the Vault 500 day 25. Monday mindset. I talked about Pinky, who is the founder of the vegan restaurant Slutty Vegan. It's a really dope vegan restaurant. I haven't tried it yet, but I will. And you basically can learn a lot from her, because she ended up losing her business multiple times. Then she came back. In 2024, she lost her business and got it back. And she loves what she does. That's the reason why she didn't give up. And take that away, let that be a takeaway for today. Failure is a lesson. Definitely. So this is the Vault 500, King here, day 25. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Appreciate you guys. See you later. Have an amazing day.